Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So my boy Errol Spence Jr. was on ESPN with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, that guy. And they were trying to, they was having talks with Errol Spence about his plans at welterweight and, how he feels and what's that big blockbuster fight in his future. And it seems like those ESPN guys definitely had some type of agenda to push Terrence Crawford. No disrespect to Bud Crawford, I give that guy a lot of respect, but just like Errol Spence said, he hasn't had a fight at welterweight yet, so pretty much he just has to wait and see what he does. At this point in time, Errol Spence's main focus is Keith Thurman. Now in this interview, Stephen A. Smith, he pretty much got Errol Spence to step off more of a conservative response and got Errol Spence to pretty much come out and say that Thurman has been flat out ducking him. Errol Spence has been calling out Thurman since he was 15-0, and the first excuse Thurman was dropping out back in the day was Errol Spence needed to do something. He needed to make a name for himself. He needed to get a belt. Now Errol Spence has accomplished that as of May 2017, and Thurman is still nowhere to be found. Injury and all, still it could have been some type of a negotiation for Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman for them to unify. I say that because even people keep on saying Thurman is injured. We understand Thurman is injured. He has to come back. He needs a tune-up fight. But to me, this situation can be definitely comparable to Andre Ward moving up to light heavyweight. Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, they have the same advisor. They're both PBC fighters. They both hold titles at the welterweight division. If Thurman was serious about unification and being undisputed, the tone that he once carried back in the day, Keith one-time Thurman KOs for life. I'm not afraid to take my lose my O, or I gotta go and I ain't afraid to let it go. All that talk from Keith Thurman. Why not just go to Al Heyman? Have Al Heyman reach out to Errol Spence. Say, let's come up with a plan to have a 3-fight deal. PBC. Last fight is on Showtime. If they want to make it pay-per-view, if they want to just put it on Showtime, CBS, whatever platform they want to put it on, they negotiate it. But the plan is a 3-fight deal. Keith Thurman fights Jesse Vargas. Errol Spence is to fight Lamont Peterson. Then the second fight would be Keith Thurman against the winner of Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. See, you should put Sean Porter, Danny Garcia on the undercard of Thurman and Vargas, and then the winner of that fight gets Keith Thurman in the second fight. Errol Spence gets his second opponent, whether it's Luis Collazo or whoever it is at the welterweight division. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. And then the third fight, if Errol Spence and Keith Thurman were to be the last man standing, they remain undefeated, they fight. If Errol Spence was to lose, then the winner, whoever holds the IBF title, fights Keith Thurman, or Keith Thurman was to lose between Danny Garcia. And put it like this: whoever wins, they fight at the end to unify that IBF title, the WBA and the WBC belt, and then hopefully Terrence Crawford picks up the winner. Like all of this waiting around for Terrence Crawford, not saying like it's a Terrence Crawford issue. We understand that Terrence Crawford is on the other side of the pond. He's promoted by Bob Arum and Top Rank. So let them do their in-house stuff and let PBC let them do their in-house fights and let the best fight the best. Like Keith Thurman, he keeps trying to put it off. And he's saying that, his plan is to have a tune-up fight and fight Porter or Garcia and then Spence. I'm like, okay, Thurman, if that's really your plan, put it on paper. Put it in a contract. It would, even though we would love to have this fight as soon as possible, it would cut out a lot of the BS, a lot of the bickering in the media, a lot of all of this talk about, who's ducking who. If it's on paper, if it's a contractual agreement, then the fans know when it's coming. We can expect this fight, and we can just go on from there. But that's not happening on Thurman's behalf. So Errol Spence made it known. He made it known to the world on that large ESPN sports platform that his big fight, his career-defining fight, is against Keith one-time Thurman. He also let the world know that he is fighting Lamont Peterson, a very respectable opponent, because no one else was willing to step in the ring with him. Now, my thing about that is, it's absolutely true. You know, the top guys at welterweight right now are Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. I mean, if you want to throw Manny Pacquiao in there, but we know Manny Pacquiao is not going to get in the ring with Errol Spence. So you got those PBC guys and Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Like, they're not even trying to mix it up with each other, and they're not trying to mix it up with Errol Spence. So what Errol Spence is saying on ESPN is absolute fact. Errol Spence needs to be put on platforms of this magnitude a lot more often to get his name out there. I feel like he's this generation's Floyd Mayweather, but a different type, a different taste, different personality, different character traits. But when you're just looking at it as a whole superstar status, a future boxing legend, I have confidence that Errol Spence will be that guy. Now, in order for him to reach that status, the guy in his weight class have to make those fights. Now, I got a feeling that the fights will happen. It's inevitable, unless people just start taking dives and devastating losses and moving up to 154, which that's not a safe place to hide, because if you want to fight Charlo and Hurd, that's not the best place to go. I feel like Thurman, Porter, they go up to 54, and Garcia, they go up to 54. They can just call it quits, because those guys are going to put them to sleep. Quit. But it's getting to the point I'm just waiting for Showtime and PBC to get fed up with guys like Thurman, Garcia, and Porter. Like, all of this ducking and dodging, not wanting to put on the big fights. It's either you make these big fights happen or you get put on the show. I really wish PBC had that type of attitude, because the ducking and dodging, it's getting old. It's getting old. It's not healthy for the sport. PBC is known, in my opinion, for putting on good competitive fights. I know certain things are mismatches at times, but when they put on a good show, they definitely put on a good show. And PBC is long overdue for some good welterweight action. It's time to make it happen. They need to put the pressure on Thurman, and they put the pressure on Garcia and Porter. Just might as well just stop the BS, make Porter and Garcia fight, and whoever that winner is, they fight Keith Thurman and have Keith Thurman fight Errol Spence next. That should just be the plan. No ducking and dodging. No point of Keith Thurman facing Porter and Garcia. That's just a waste of time. Those two guys already lost, and they need to earn their spot to get a shot at a unified champion. And for Garcia, he hasn't fought anyone yet. He's about to fight Brandon Rios. That's not a worthy opponent to get a shot at a unified champion. And Sean Porter fighting Adrian Granados. Much respect to Granados, he put up a good fight, but that's not enough to get a shot at a unified champion. They need to fight each other and just keep it at that. Errol Spence, once again, he's putting the welterweight division on notice. Don't duck me. He's ready. He wants to be undisputed. His eyes on the prize. He's hungry. He has all the dog in him in the world. He's not ducking and dodging anyone. He's ready for all comers. This is Nino Brown Boxer. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Peace.